I am joyfully of service to all. I'm Emery John Frazier, and we are all the way up to episode 10, and have finished the beginning of our series. Everything from this video forward will just be a different way of saying everything we already said, just so we can have a deeper understanding in our heart and in our mind, have that balance. The foundation has been laid. Now we're just going to build upon it. The purpose of this video is going to be talking about vibration in the here and the now. Vibration is everything. Science has caught up with the understanding that everything that's physical is just vibrating at a certain frequency. And so it's really not physical until it slows this vibration down to a certain level. So imagine everything we can experience with our senses is just at a certain frequency. So there's lots of more things going on that we just don't have the frequency to experience yet. So the more we raise our frequency, the more experiences we can have. Envision water, H2O. It has lots of different forms. 3 of them. We got the gas, which is at its highest frequency, which is at its least dense. Then we got water, which is in the middle, and ice, which is at its most dense form and vibrating slower. We know that things that are extremely hot vibrate at a higher rate and have less form than things that are extremely cold and vibrate at a slow rate. So that gets us started off about energy. This episode is titled Everything's Vibrating Here and Now. So now we're going to talk about how to experience the frequency, the vibration you want. So since everything is vibrating, that means everything has a frequency. It has a channel that you can hop onto and ride the wave of and experience it. So we're going to be talking a lot about TV metaphors to help us understand vibration in the here and the now. One thing people often do when you start spirituality is try to change things on the outside, try to change the mirror versus going within and knowing that when I change within, the reflection in the mirror will change. And you've probably heard of birds of a feather flock together. That comes from the idea that everything is just experiencing itself. And so instead of a parent saying, you need to change your friends, the parents would be better off saying, we need to change who you are, and thus your friends will change. So imagine all of the shows ever recorded, ever transmitted on a television frequency can be experienced whenever. There's no later, there's no before, after, there's only now. And so all you have to do is change your vibration to align with the episode you want to watch. So you can watch I Love Lucy, the original one that aired in the 50s, you could watch it now. All you have to do is change your vibration. How do we change our vibration? We're going to get to that in a couple more parts. So let's say we got a remote and we're watching channel ESPN, which for me is 35. And then we want to go watch Game of Thrones, which is on HBO somewhere in the 800s. We could hit the up button and go all the way from 35 to, let's just call it 800. That'd be a lot of clicking. We would call that, in our current reality, a lot of time, or we call that a lot of changes we would have to make to get to the experience we want to have. We enjoy what was on ESPN, now we want to go hop to Game of Thrones. But do we have to go all the way, one by one, click by click? No. We can literally change our frequency from 35 to 800, just like that. It's always up to us how quickly, how slowly we make that transformation. Now, I can guarantee you this. If you have the belief that the only way to get from 35 to 800 is one by one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then that will be your experience. Imagine going back 1,000 years and telling somebody we have cars instead of horses, their belief system wouldn't allow it. You would shatter their understanding. It'd be very, very hard for them to unbuild those fences to allow their awareness to become greater than horses for traveling. We're doing that same thing now. We can break down those fences that say we have to have experience A, B, C, all the way through to get down to Z. We can change our vibration whenever we want to have what experience we want without waiting. That's huge in spirituality. Never wait, because there is no time. There's only here and now. So how do we get to HBO, to Game of Thrones? It used to be, in my opinion, the path of least resistance. When my awareness changed, when I began to release those fences and let them go and rebuild them further and further out, I came to the understanding that resistance is not what I prefer. I prefer flow. So why not focus on that? So then I said, well, how do you get the most flow? I said, optimize. So let's focus on optimizing our flow. So then we have the experience of our fullest self. And thus we allow people to experience their reflection of their perfection by being our perfect selves. That's what people do. Like this weekend, me and some of my friends went out. I didn't get to go pass out the food, but we made food and handed out to some people who didn't have the food. There was so much joy in such a simple act because we were being our fullest self. And then when that energy was transferred to the other people, not only did the food feed them, but our positive energy fed them even more. That helped me understand that the best way to help somebody is to share a fish with them, which is the metaphor because I don't eat fish. So you share a meal with them, and then you help them remember how to feed themselves. Because it's hard to help somebody help somebody remember how to feed themselves on an empty stomach. So if we feed them with physical, the food, and then we feed them with the spiritual, one by one, in my opinion, that's the best way to help somebody. But let me get back to our here and now. So with our optimum flow, we literally follow our highest excitement in any given moment to the best of our ability. So whatever idea comes to your head, which is what we learned in all the previous episodes, you go and follow that idea as far as it takes you until the next idea comes in your head, releasing all and any judgments of that idea. Because the judgments are what's going to take more clicks. So the more judgments you hold on to, the more clicks you got to go to get to 800 from that 35. You release those judgments, pretty soon you're not clicking, you're flowing. Just like when water's in its gas form, it flows. Gas flows to the path to the optimum flow. Ice does not do that. Now we can be ice or we can be gas. I prefer gas. Much more ease, much more flow. We're again in that canoe flowing downhill. So in this episode, I want you to realize that everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. Every experience you want, no matter if it's a partner, if it's a car, a house, a vacation, a career, your own business, is vibrating at a certain frequency. And you don't have to wait to experience it. You just have to change within. As soon as you start changing your vibration, as soon as you start pointing that remote at you, and you start feeling it's possible, you start having the visions, you start dreaming about it, you start writing it down, you start talking to other people about it, the closer you get to that vibration. And soon enough, literally, you're going to have an opportunity to come to that realization that it's happening right now. That I'm building that house right now, that relationship, that experience, that business, that non-for-profit is here and now.